If you're not around, there's nothing more important than your decision about who's going to be taking care of your kids if something happens to you. As an attorney in the multicultural community of South Florida, I am often asked if it is possible to choose a guardian that is actually living overseas. So in this video, I will be addressing that question and giving you some practical considerations to think about. Hi, my name is Marenco. I'm an estate planning and asset protection attorney at Counsel, a boutique planning firm here in Miami, Florida, where we help families plan to protect their children, their income, and their assets so they can live a rich life and leave a rich legacy. When you're thinking about long-term guardians for your young children, a common question I get at my presentations and from my clients initially is, can I leave someone that is overseas? So the answer to that legal question is simple, but practically speaking, it's a whole different story because you really need to think through what that would actually mean. So the answer to the legal question is yes. If you properly execute the right estate planning documents in the right way, you can. But practically speaking, there's so much more that you need to consider. So let's say you know that if anything happens to you, you want your mom, your child's grandparent, to be the person that would take care of your kids. And she happens to live in Brazil. Your kids are most likely going to have to go and move to Brazil because grandma is not all of a sudden going to come here to the US and start her life over here. So if you're okay with that, because the choice of specific guardian, in this case grandma, is more important than where your children are going to live, in this case Brazil, then that's fine. You just need to think about what's important for your kids at the age or stage that they're at right now. But don't worry, you can always change this decision later. And any decision you make, believe me, is better than a judge making it for you. So in my experience, if your kids are about 12 years old or older, I want you to consider how going to live overseas would further disrupt their life. Your early departure will be traumatic enough. The change in culture, maybe a difference in language, at that point would really make it more difficult for them to cope. But you know what? If your kids are really young, maybe it isn't as disruptive if they end up moving overseas. So it's a question that you may revisit as your kids get older. And my clients often do that. They will name one set of guardians early on, and then when I call to check up on them every year, we will have further conversations. And at some point, they may decide to name someone else. But remember, naming permanent guardians for your children is only one part of what we call kids protection planning. There's still so much left to think about, and make sure that you document legally. Think about it. What happens in an emergency situation if you're incapacitated because of a car accident or something like that? Who has legal authority to be with your children immediately and take care of them for the short term? Who has the legal authority to make medical decisions for them if you can't? These questions and a whole lot of others are things that we discuss with parents when we engage in doing kids protection planning. Now, I know this planning is super important for parents to address, so we have created a free downloadable guide titled The 7 Things Parents Must Do When Naming Guardians for Their Kids. Click on the link in the space below and you'll be able to download that. So those are my considerations. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share. And remember, great families plan for great futures. Who are you planning for?